Well, hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. If you came to my 20,000 subscriber bash last night, thank you so much for being there. It was a really fun night. I had a great time with my friends and all of you, so thank you so much for coming. Today, I'm going to be working on the Calliope quilt from Yoder, and you can find the pattern on her blog, corianderquilts.com. And I will also put the link in the chat. Hi, Sally. Good to see you. So let me do that right now. Hi, Karen. Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see. So the first thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't done it already, which I have, is obviously get the pattern. And then second, cut all your fabric into strips. And then we're going to sew all those strips. So we're going to be sewing strips for a while. Hi, Dawn. Thank you. Let me see. While I'm talking to you guys, I need to find, I don't think I have another bobbin. I was going to get another bobbin, but this one has got thread in it, and I want to take it all off of there because it's very variegated thread. I was going to wind a second bobbin because I'm probably going to run out of bobbin at some point because we're going to be doing a lot of strips. But hi, Teresa. Hi, Bev. Good to see you. She said, got the pattern and cut my strips. Awesome. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. So I hope you guys are ready for today. It's going to be a lot of sewing. So the first thing we're going to do, and I did a few ahead of time just to make sure they worked. Plus, I also wanted to see if we needed to do a 1/4 inch or a scant 1/4 inch. The directions do say a 1/4 inch, but sometimes when you sew strips together, you really need to do a scant to get the right size. So I tried both, and this is with a 1/4 inch, and it's perfect. So they cut out to the right size. If you do a scant, they're too big. So make sure you use a true 1/4 inch seam allowance because we're going to cut these into 8.5 inch squares eventually here. But and before then, we have a lot of strips to sew together. So this is the fabric I'm using. It's a line from Three Sisters, or it's called Three Sisters Moda. It's from a few years ago, so it's not a new line. I decided to dig in my stash for this and find something, and I pulled this out, so I really like it. All right, let me see who else is here. Hi, Denise. That's all right. Thank you for being here. That's all right that you couldn't come last night. Hi, Jean. Let's see. Hi, Dana. Dana. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. Oh, laying in bed in Australia on Sunday. Nice. Isn't it trimmed to 8 inches? Let me check. I think you trim them to 8, but you have to cut 8.5 inch squares. Yeah, you trim them to 8 inches, but you have to cut 8.5 inch squares first. Then we're laying them together to make like 2 half square triangles, sort of. And then we'll trim those to 8 inches. But the first thing we have to do is sew the strips together, cut those in 8.5 inch squares. So, hello, everyone. I have to start cutting some, Colleen. The cutting takes a little bit. But what I did want to say about the cutting is I used fat quarters and I went across the 18-inch side rather than the long side. And I trimmed them all to 18 inches because that's what the pattern said. I got about halfway through doing that and I said, why am I doing this? I just stopped and I just cut across that 18-inch side. And if there was a little extra on either side, I just left it and I sewed some strips together. It's not going to make a difference because you're cutting that off anyway, and it saved me a lot of cutting time. So if you're just cutting now, I recommend doing that. Hi, Landa. Good to see you. Hi, Annette. Hey, Lori. Sherlock Sews. Good to see you. So I'm going to turn on my other camera. Hopefully I got this right so you guys can see it. And you'll see, hopefully you can see my hands and see the strips there. Can you guys see this, hopefully? Get the cords out of the way so I don't cut any cords. Java Batik Blues by Maywood Studio. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. So let me know if you guys can see the down camera when you get a second. I just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So these are my next set of strips that I have to sew together. So you should have, and I'm not going to give the sizes. This is Corey's pattern. So if you would like to do this with me or at some point do it on your own, go grab the pattern. It's a free pattern. You can see it perfect. Thank you, Lori, for telling me. Go grab the pattern, but you'll have two strips. There's going to be the outside strips. They're going to be larger, and then you're going to have this middle inside strip. So these are going to sew together like this. Now we're going to sew together a lot, a lot of strips. So I believe it's 12. Yeah, 12 of two sets of 12. Well, I don't want to say two sets, but you're going to have 24 strip sets. And you're going to put them in two piles because 12 of them you're going to press in and 12 of them you're going to press out. And that's how this is going to nest together really well. And supposedly it makes the pattern or the blocks go together really fast. So really excited about this. I think this is going to be fun. So awesome. You guys can all see it. Great. Annette says, I'm using a line called Bellissimo. Ooh, I'd love to see that. Hi, Russ. Good to see you. Having a good day. I saw your live this morning. Good job. I love that lemon fabric you're using. All right, so I'm going to start sewing these together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these middle small strips onto one of my colors first. I'm just going to go with this dark one since it's right in front of me. I'm going to do all of the one side of that first, then press those, and then do add all the other sides. So let's do this. So I'm just lay that right on top. Bellissimo. What's that one by Annette? I've never heard of that, but just the name sounds fun. So I hope everybody is having a great beginning to March. We are. The weather has been really weird here. It's been going back and forth between cold and spring and cold and spring. But the little bit of spring that we've gotten, I'm ready for spring now. So I'm going to lose Baba Chicken one of these times because I'm just about out. I can hear it in my machine, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do for each of these is, let me see. This is one of the strips that I'm going to press out. So I'm going to go ahead and finger press this so it'll go the direction I want it to. That'll just make when we go to press all these a lot quicker and easier. So I'm going to press this out and set that aside. And then I'll press all 4 of these at the same time because I have 4 of each color. Hi, Robin's Quilt Basket. Good to see you. Has anyone used a red, white, and gray colorway? I haven't seen that, but that would be really pretty. That's actually, yeah, I think that would look really nice. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you. Hi, Debbie. Nice to have you all here. If you just got here and you're sewing along, tell me what fabric you're using. I'd love to know. Or you could post a picture in the Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, you can go ahead and join if you like. It's Together We Sew Quilting. Love to have you over there. I love when people post their pictures of whatever they're working on, their projects, their fabric. It's just fun to see and it's really good inspiration. So if you would like to join that and you're not a member already, go for it. Okay, you guys have to let me know. I think I might have figured out how to not have ads. So if I get an ad, tell me. It just popped up and asked me if I wanted to put one and I said no. So hopefully that works. Went to my stash and using a variety of blue, turquoise, purple, and green batiks. Oh, that'll be pretty. I can't wait to see that, Mary. Oh, Dana, that would be nice. Apricot and ash. I'm, you're lucky you have some. That is like the hardest fabric line to find of hers. Corey, that is a Corey Yoder line for those of you who don't know. And that sold out so quickly that Moda doesn't ever reorder fabric. That's one of the few fabric lines that they've ever reprinted. And the reprint of that sold out in no time. So that's really awesome that you have that fabric. It's very valuable. So awesome. That'll look pretty. I do have some of that in my stash, but I don't have enough to make this quilt. I think this quilt would also be fun with, Corey's got a line coming out in a few months that's like polka dots and stripes and stuff, but all of her strawberry colors that she likes to use. And I think this quilt would look really, really cute with that too. Too bad it wasn't here yet. That would have been nice. But that's okay. We found this instead. From my stash, I picked an odd bunch. That's okay. I actually think that this, I was thinking about this earlier when I was thinking about fabric. I think this is a really nice quilt to do scrappy too. And you guys know I'm not a scrappy quilter, but I think this one lends itself really well to that. So if you had a bunch of different things in your stash, I think you could definitely make it really scrappy and it would be cute. Now I'm just gonna press these ones that I iron or I finger pressed before I put on the strip on the other side. And so you're just gonna kind of do this and repeat over and over again to make 24 strip sets. So I definitely, if you can sew fast, accurately, if not, chain piece them all, or you could do a few at a time and then maybe cut the squares out and then go back to doing a few, because doing that many strip sets in a row kind of gets boring. So that might be a way to break it up a little bit too. I do love that this quilt only used fat quarters though, and you didn't need any extra yardage or anything except for like binding and backing. But fresh from my stash, I picked an, oh, that's Colleen. I already read that. Awesome. I cannot wait to see this done. And I can't wait to see yours. It's gonna be neat to see all the different colored ones. All right. There's that one. Now, I've got some over here I've already made, but I need to press them. And then I have some that I need to finish that I started making that I didn't finish yet. So I'm going to go ahead and add the next color on. Nothing hard about these, just gonna take time because it's lots of strip making. So So for those of you who are sewing Carnival with us, with Shannon and I, if you have not gotten your Zoom link, let me know because we did send that out. Don't forget we're doing that tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I have to watch Stephen and Walter first, and then we're gonna do the 6 because they crack me up. They're so funny. We're gonna do that at 6 p.m. right here on my channel. So looking forward to that. And then Tuesday night is going to be the New York Beauty. So lots of things coming up in the next week. And that said, did 12 sets first, then cut them up, size them, now working on the second 12. Yeah. I think it'll be good for your brain to take a break from strips. Maybe do a few like she did and cut them and then do a few more. Okay. Unless my Carnival arrives in the mail today, I won't get to sew with you tomorrow night. Fingers crossed it gets here. Oh, shucks. Well, if it's not here, Bev, if you want to just pop on and chit chat, that's fine too. That's stinky. Hmm. Wish it would have arrived already for you. One more of that. I'm trying to keep my colors together. So I'm doing like the color sets first and then I'll go on to the next one. If I had them all up here, I would mess them all up. And if you don't mind scrappy, you don't have to keep my color sets. You can just cut all your strips and sew them all together. This just works best for my brain. Okay. All right, so I've got all four of those together. And I've got a few more over here to sew, so I'm going to put these aside. We'll press those in a minute. I started another set, so I'm going to go ahead and sew these ones together and then press them all at once. I just got my new DX 2000 QBP from Soya, so I'm playing with it. Awesome! Congratulations! Oh, a new machine is always so much fun. That's great. Did you get one of the Tina, one of the retreat machines? Or is it just like you just wanted that one and bought that one? Kelly's Quilting Cruises said, "Hi, Stephanie and chatters. I'm definitely going to do this pattern sometime." Awesome. It's a fairly straightforward pattern, which is nice if you need something. I think you can get it done probably in 2 days, like a weekend project. So if you needed a quilt done kind of quickly, this would be a nice thing to do. It's a nice throw size. If you need like a quilt for somebody for a gift or like a comfort quilt if they're like in the hospital or something like that, I think you could whip it up really quickly. Evelyn, do you have that machine too? I saw you said you'll have fun with it. Kelly said, I saw Corey's video. Nice. I have the TL 2010Q. Nice. Okay. So you have a Juki as well. Yes, I did. It's the first thing I have ever gotten for myself for my birthday. That is the 16th. Well, good for you. I think particularly as ladies, we don't do enough for ourselves most of the time. So good for you for getting something that you wanted. We're always so busy taking care of our family and our kids and everything else that, or even if you don't have kids, women just typically put everybody else first. So March is also the start of National Quilting Month. So happy National Quilting Month. They have a thing for every month, I think, but kind of nice that quilters get a month. So my son talked me into it and he said that I never get anything for myself. See, good. Congratulations. That's so awesome. I think that's why my husband doesn't really fuss too much when I buy sewing things because I do spend most of my paychecks on my family. So better go have lunch. See you all around. Oh yeah, go eat. Take care. Uh, Lori said, I didn't know quilters had a month. Yeah, it started at the day, but I heard somebody say it the other day that it's like National Quilting Month, and I was like, oh, I thought it was just one day in March. So I guess we get a whole month, which that rocks. I'll take it. Hi, Katie Crafts. Said, hi, everyone. I can't stay, but wanted to give a thumbs up. Thank you. Mayor B said, does Soya typically sell the machines after the retreats? Yes, they do. They have a deal with whatever manufacturer of machines that they use for each retreat, um, where they can sell them at a good deal to everybody because they're used, right? People use them, but that's all they use them for. It's just a couple days of the retreat. So it's a used machine, but they're still in really good shape. They're still practically brand new. So they have a deal like with usually with Juki. They do a lot with Juki. I can't remember one of the other retreats we were at. Bev is here in the chat. She might remember, but one of them didn't have Jukis. They used another brand. But Juki, I guess, gives them a really good deal to bring them all in for the retreat, and then they can sell them at a reduced rate. And if they don't sell them all, I believe that they can return them, but I'm pretty sure that they sell most of them. So, because they do give a really good deal. So, all right. Now I've got those all sewn together, so I'm gonna press them. They had Viking and I think Juki. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember, Bev. I knew that you would know. Because I remember one time it was Juki and one time it was something else. It must have been the Viking ones. So, hi, Beverly. Good to see you. How are you? But yeah, Mary, they start selling them. They may even have some left from this last retreat, but they start selling them as soon as the retreat is over. And actually, if you go to one of their retreats, you could buy it right there while you're there. You know, if you sit down and you love the machine that you sewed on, you can buy the one that you sewed on. So they give you that option. And I know several people at the retreat did buy them when we were there, the Juki. Did I burn up my little iron? No. Okay. So I came home, you guys, from QuiltCon, and my kids were still living, so that was the most important part, right? But came home and there was no groceries in the house. So the day I came home, I got home after midnight, like at 1 o'clock in the morning between Sunday and Monday. So it was a late night and there was no groceries. So I had to go grocery shopping. And then my husband went out of town. He came home late last night. Well, not super late, but right before I went on live for my 20,000. Anyway, I keep magic erasers for my irons to clean them. And he knows where my stash is. Well, apparently he took the last one to clean something or other while I was gone. And he didn't tell me and he didn't replace it. So I need to clean my other iron. That's why I'm using this one. This is the Aliso, that small iron, because I was, before I left for, and this is my fault, but before I left for QuiltCon, I was ironing something that had interfacing. Yeah, when you accidentally touch your iron to interfacing, you guys know, I made a boo-boo and I got sticky stuff on it. So I can't iron fabric with it right now, right? I got to get the sticky stuff off, which will come off with a magic eraser. But I need to go, and actually after my live tonight, I'm going to go to the store and get some stuff, but I need to get a magic eraser so I can clean my iron. So I'm using this one today. I usually use this one, my Aliso, on yardage. It's just that it's bigger, so it takes up more space. So I don't usually use it over here. but it's working just fine for now. But my little iron needs to get cleaned because she's a dirty girl. So I'm gonna make my husband take me and buy me some magic erasers tonight. Let's see. Beverly said, I downloaded your 2 new patterns today. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Don't forget that Shannon of Slate Arts is going to be doing a sew along with Rock Candy. I only had to pay her about $100 to bribe her to do it. No, I'm just kidding. She actually, when she saw the pattern, she's like, I'm doing this on my channel because I love it. So I was really, really excited and appreciated that she wanted to do it, that she liked it that much, that she wanted to do it on her channel. Because she does a lot of FPP, you guys know that. So I was excited that she wanted to do my pattern. So that that's what she's going to start. I believe next Sunday she's starting that. So if you have Rock Candy and you want to sew it along with Shannon, head on over to her channel next weekend. And Catherine said, those pandas are so darn cute. Thank you. They're just so happy. I love red pandas. They have the cutest faces in real life. These two, but the cutest faces, and they just look like they're smiling all the time. And I know that's probably silly because they're probably not, but they just look like they are. So I love red pandas. This was a really fun quilt to put together from Art East Quilting. And hopefully this week I'll be able to get it quilted. So I've got quite a few things to get quilted and to get made. I've got a few retreats coming up that I've got to get ready for. So got to get that stuff done too. So lots of things to do. Let's see. Lori said, oh no, my daughter took my cleaning pad from my iron also. Right. It's all right. I'll forgive him. Like I said, he kept the kids alive. So that's all that matters really. So. Beverly said, awesome. I'll watch Shannon. Great. And Gravatina said they may still have, I got mine February 26th and was delivered today. Oh, the machines. Okay. Yeah. And Lori said, I do have to buy 2 of the same pattern, one for me and one for my daughter. Aw. That's nice that your daughter's sewing then. The only thing with this iron is it gets really hot and I'm like starting to, either that or I'm having a hot flash. Get warm. That's all right. All right. These ones. I have another pile to iron over here. Didn't finish ironing all these. Make sure you press these really, really well, because if you don't press them well, you're not going to get your squares to come out to the right size. So follow the instructions. You're going to make 12 where the seams are pressed out and 12 where the middle seams are pressed in. So that way, when you put the squares together, they nest really nicely. So. Bev said I have 12 strip sets done, so I'm going to take a break and go get mail. I'll be back. Oh, hopefully your card will be in there. Hope you have good news when you come back. Lori said it is nice. She's still a beginner also and loves your patterns. Makes sense to her. Lives in Florida. Oh, good. I'm glad they make sense to her. I always think when I write my patterns, I try to think like a beginner, but I know I don't always think that way. So yeah, except Calm Waters. I don't recommend that to a beginner just because there's a lot of little pieces and you got to get a lot of pieces that you have to get lined up. So I wouldn't recommend that one to beginner, but rock candy is definitely beginner, very beginner friendly. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so I've got all these strips now. Now I'm going to cut them all into 8.5-inch squares. And you can get 2 8.5-inch squares out of each strip set. And there is a little bit extra on both sides. So if you have a spot that maybe you went a little crooked, just move over just a little bit and you'll be fine. You should have enough fabric. So let's cut one of these and see what we have here. It's hard to think in beginner stages once we move forward. Yes, it is. But I do my best because I do know there's a lot of beginners and I really want to make sure that they don't, that they can finish things, so, or work on things. Mary said, I want to make your Frosted Flakes pattern. Oh, thanks. I love that quilt. That one was a fun one to come up with. Okay, so I have an 8.5-inch wide ruler. So if you've got an 8.5-inch wide ruler, that would probably, or larger, that would probably be good. It'd be really hard to trim this if you have something that's like you don't have something longer or wider. So it can be done, but it'll be tricky. So cut that bit off. And good. So there's one square. And as you can see, there's a little bit more than a square left. So I don't have to go all the way up to the edge. I can just, because it's going to be scrap. There's not going to be enough left to do anything with. It's going to be trash. So just take your time and get it nice and lined up. Trim off each side. That'll be, if you have an 8.5-inch wide ruler, that'll work good for that. So, all right. So there's my two. So I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to talk to you guys and cut squares. I completely forgot that I had this fabric. It was in a drawer where I have some things that have been in the drawer for probably 3 or 4 years and decided to open it up. And I'm really glad I pulled this out. It's pretty. Wish all of your patterns are in a book. Someday, that is the goal someday. I know a lot of you have asked for that, and honestly, I don't know. I just didn't think it's just my issue. It's really nothing else. But yes, someday I will get them in a book. So I was actually looking at, I was going to approach Martingale when I heard that they were closing down, which they did. And so now I'm going to look at, there's two other options in the industry to get a book published. So I'm going to look at those and see what I need to do. Probably will talk to them when I go to Quilt Market in the fall and see what can be done. Because what I'm thinking of doing is, since you guys have asked, putting together a book of a bunch of my patterns, but what I want to do too is I want to write two like brand new patterns that will just be in the book. So that way you get something fresh too. So I just need to like talk to one of the book publishers and see how many patterns I need to have ready for them. And I don't know if I have to have like a sample of every quilt or not, which I have most of them, but a couple of them I gave away from some of my patterns in the past. So if I need samples, I might have to make another one, things like that. So down the road. Sherlock So says, I'm looking at your ruler thinking, do I have that size rectangle? This has actually become my new favorite rectangular quilt or rectangular ruler. It's an 8.5 by 12.5. I like it just because it just gives you that little bit more than the 6.5 by 12.5. And I feel like I can put more of my hand on it to like cut. So it's a little bit safer. So I'm not getting my hand anywhere near the blade and just give me a little extra more space to, I don't know. I really like this size. It's become my new favorite. And my favorite was always the 6.5 by 12.5. So let's see. Janet. Hi, Janet. Good to see you. She said the celebration was fun last night. Oh, thanks. I always love hanging out with Stephen and Walter and Shannon and Russ. It's a fun time. And then all of you guys as well. So we had some good discussions, some really great questions from you guys come in. So that was fun. Is Fort Worth Fabric Studio not doing any more solo longs? Yeah, they're doing more solo longs. There's a new one coming soon. I just can't tell you about it yet because they're not ready. But it's going to be really cute. So I'm really excited about it. As soon as they're ready and they give me the green light, I can tell you guys. So, but yep, there's more coming. And they decided to skip St. Patrick's Day this year because they've done so many of them in the past. And people are asking for something different. So they're doing something a little different this time, but it's going to be pretty. I'm very excited about it. So I'll tell you guys as soon as I know more. I gave my daughter quite a few rulers when she was home in December. Oh, that was nice of you. Hi, Jana. How are you doing? I started getting my daughter, Creative Grids makes left-handed rulers for any of you who are left-handed. You probably already know that if you are left-handed, but my daughter's left-handed. And so I just got her a couple of the left-handed and it's made a huge difference for her. So but they don't have that many yet. I think they only have maybe 4. So that's enough to get her going. I just got her 2. I got her a square and a rectangle. Hi, Terry. How you doing? Doing well. Thank you, Jana. Having a good day. Of course, any day we can sew is a good day, I think. I think I missed that the most when I was at QuiltCon, besides my kids. I missed my sewing machine. I did, however, do some cross stitch. I know, write that one down in the book. Stephanie hand stitch something. But I did. I did some cross stitch. I used to cross stitch years and years ago. And when you have a family and have kids, there's only so much you can get done. And I started quilting, and I like quilting more than cross stitch, so I kind of let the cross stitch thing go. But when I knew I was going to QuiltCon and I was going to be flying, and then I wasn't going to be the one driving because Shannon drove us, I was like, well, maybe I'll do some cross stitch. I can do it in the car, and I did. So I found a cross stitch sampler that is like, they look like quilt blocks, and I was like, oh, that's perfect for me. So that's what I did. So I will show that. I haven't done a UFO like whip update in a long time, so I'm probably gonna do one here in the next week or so, and I'll show you guys my cross stitch. But write that one down. Stephanie hand stitch something. Let's see. Gave my daughter, oh, Jenna, Mary, perfect. The last two were so close. Oh, yeah, the so-longs, Fort Worth. Yeah, they were really close together. Yeah. Yeah, they're spacing this one out just a little bit because they were really close together, and they it was a struggle for people to get them done that quickly. So um waiting on my food at a restaurant. Ooh, what are you getting? You getting something yummy? I was secretly hoping that my husband, when he came home from his trip, would say, let's go to Indian this weekend, but he didn't. So I really would like to have some Indian food. Let's see. Bev said, I've never used a left-handed ruler. I simply cut from the left side instead of the right. Yeah. Hi, Laura Lynn. She said, tag, you're it. Because she was just live and I was over there. No, she's over here. It's so good to see you again. And since you're here, I'm sure all of these lovely ladies know who you are. But if you don't know who Laura Lynn is of Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, I'm putting the link into her channel now. So make sure you head on over there and check out her channel. Although, like I said, I'm quite sure all of you know who she is because she's amazeballs. She's just such a happy spirit, and I love watching her because she just puts off this positive energy into the environment. I love it. Bev said hand stitch. It's going to snow in June, right? I was actually inspired by Laura Lynn because I've been going over and watching her cross stitch videos. She does like a live cross stitch. What, Laura Lynn, like once a week? And oh, you're welcome, of course. Anytime, Laura Lynn. And so I've been watching her cross stitch things and thinking, I really need to get back into cross stitch again. So that's what inspired me to take some cross stitch with me to QuiltCon. And I'm really glad I did, or on the trip to QuiltCon. Because there was a lot of time in the car to stitch and in the airplane to stitch. So plus my flight got delayed coming home and I sat in the airport for 4 hours and it gave me something to do. So I wasn't that upset that I wanted to be home, but what can you do? I can't change anything. So make it a positive thing and stitch. So I was glad I took it with me. Yep. Yeah, once a week she has hers. Yep. It's really interesting. And She's really, really good at it. So she's super fast. Probably what I did in a couple days would take her like an hour. But that's okay. We all have our own pace, right? No worries. She's really, I love watching hers because they're just so pretty. The time flies when busy. Yes, yes, it really does. Did Henry have his eye surgery? Not yet. Nope. His doctor ended up retiring, so we need to find another doctor. Mm, so not yet. Bummer. It's all right. Oh, you're welcome, Laura Lynn. I don't say things I don't mean. I think you're amazing at everything. Quilting, cross stitch, but I just fascinated. I love watching your cross stitch videos. You're so fast, girl. You have to tell me how you go that fast. Okay, I think this is the last one I have to cut up, unless there's a straggler around here. I don't see one, so I think we're good. Yay. Then we can go on to the next part. So as you're doing these, make sure you're keeping the pieces that are pressed in separate from the pieces that are pressed out, because we're going to draw a line on the back of them and make like half square triangles out of them. But you're going to want to make sure that you have the piles separated. Let's see. I watched you all last night. I'm wondering if you will go to QuiltCon next year. Probably not. Well, two reasons. Number one, I wasn't that impressed with it, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go over all that again, but I can't support a company that like makes elderly people sit on the floor. Number one. Number two, it's in Phoenix next year. So that would be not like I had to take a flight to Baltimore, but it was a short flight and then a not too far of a ride down to North Carolina. But it's quite a bit longer. Um, and I lived in Phoenix for a while. I really have no desire to go back there, to be honest with you. So probably not. I probably wouldn't go next year. Now, if people go next year and say they improved those things, because they did have an after survey if you went as an attendee. Um, if they improve those things, then I might consider going in the future. But that was really sad for me. It was hard for me to see all those people sitting on the floor. I would have understood if they didn't have space, but they had a lot of space that they could have had chairs. So, yeah. Thank you, Laurelyn. I like them too. I dug in my stash for them. I forgot about this that quarter bundle that I had, and I'm really glad I found it. So, yeah. So we'll see. Maybe QuiltCon in the future, but definitely not next year because it's just, like I said, out in Phoenix, and I want to see if they take some of our suggestions and make some improvements. So, so now I'm just pulling these back out and making sure I have all the ones that are pressed out together before I draw the lines on the back. It was sad to listen to. Yeah. It was sad for me. It really bothered me. I don't want to cry about it. It bothered me though. I'm not exactly a spring chicken either, but I don't want to sit on the floor, but at least I can get up. Like, Yeah. Mm. Anyhow, onward and upward. Last night was so much fun with you and the gang. Congrats on 20,000. It was a super achievement. Thank you. I know I heard you and Kit talking about it earlier that they say like if you get 20,000 or more subscribers, you're in the top 8% of YouTubers that get over 20,000. But for the quilting world, and this is what I've heard from another person who does all these analytics, which is not me. I just sew. I don't care about all the analytics, but that if you're in the quilting realm, it's in the top 3%. So I was like, that's really cool. So congratulations, Laura Lynn. You and I are in the top 3%. That's really kind of fun. Let's see. Janet said, as one of the elderly, I won't be going anytime soon. Yeah. I'm hoping that they really take the feedback and because they ask for feedback and they listen. So here's hoping. Laura Lynn said, me, I sew too. Yep. Yeah. I showed Laura Lynn, I showed my husband like the YouTube where you can see all the analytics and stuff. And he's like, what does all this mean? I was like, I have no idea. I just sew. And he's like, well, there's all kinds of data in here. I'm like, have at it. That's not me. Nope. Right. High five, no five, hip bump. I'm hoping that Quilt Canada, I know they're going out to I think Edmonton this next year. Hope they go back to Halifax again because that was really nice. I would like to go back to that show. If none of you have been, if you haven't been to Quilt Canada and you're Canadian, or even if you're American, because I went, that was a really nice show. So if you guys like to go to quilt shows and you're able, I recommend that one. Yep. Southern Hater said there was a lack of seating in Atlanta as well, so it is a pattern of behavior. As an occupational therapist, I am, and her sentence got cut off, but yeah, that's kind of sad to hear that they had it there too. Hmm. You could say been there, done that, got the t-shirt. As far as QuiltCon goes, I did get the t-shirt. I actually had not, you could pre-purchase the t-shirt and I did not because most places that I've gotten t-shirts from, I never wear them. But I did buy the one for QuiltCon because it was blue and it was colorful. It was really pretty. A lot of the quilt shows I've gone to, it's been like really dull colors, which is interesting. And like black writing, but this one was blue, like a royal blue color, and then had all kind of colors. I'll wear it one day on the channel, but it was really nice. So I bought one. Yep. Oh, Much Kid says dinner is ready. Big hugs, everyone. All right. Thanks, Laura Lynn. Thanks for coming. Have a good dinner. Uh, Supporter of taking care of those with physical limitations. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. All right. So I have these separated into my two piles now, the ones that are pressed in and the ones that are pressed out. And so I'm going to draw a line on the back of one of them. I'm going to go look at the pattern really quick because I don't remember which one you're supposed to, or if it matters. It might not matter. Let me check. Let's see. Draw a diagonal on the back of all the squares with the seams pressed towards the center. Okay. So that's these ones. All right. So we need to have the blocks with the seams going vertically, not horizontal. So vertically. So I'm going to keep them vertical and flip them over. And we're going to draw a line corner to corner on the back of all the ones with the seams that are pressed in. All right, so let me grab a big ruler and, oh, I probably use the other one. And a marking tool. So use your favorite marking tool. And we're just going to draw lines corner to corner. And it looks like we're going to draw the lines and we're just making half square triangles. So we're going to nest one of the ones with the seams pressed in with the ones with the seams pressed out and lay them together. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam on both sides of the line. So just like you're making half square triangles. So let's do this thing. Hopefully you guys can see that. Sort of draw a line. You might not be able to see it as well in the darker blue, but it's there. So just draw a line corner to corner. I'm just going to do that to all these blocks. This is kind of a nifty way to put strip sets together. So these should be 8.5 inches right now. And then after we sew them and make them into half square triangles, they'll get trimmed down to 8 inches. Thanks, Jana. I like it too. I found it in my stash. I've forgotten about it. I really wanted to use some Yoder fabric since it's her pattern, but I didn't really have any that isn't earmarked for something else. So I looked through my stash of her fabrics and that I have, and they're all like for something because I always, if I can't do the quilt right away when I get the fabric, I put the pattern and everything together. And I really don't have any like extra beyond that. I mean, a little bit extra, but not like a whole fat quarter bundle. So even late, what is the pattern? It is Calliope from Yoder. It is a free pattern. Let me put that in the chat, which you can grab on Corey's website or her blog, I should say. She has a nice blog. She has a lot of like what's going on with her. She shows her new fabric releases if you are a Corey Yoder fabric fan. And she always puts like tips and tricks and things in there. And I like the one thing I like that she does is she always talks about what solids mix really well with her print fabrics. I like when designers do that because sometimes, like I did the Socialites 2 quilt last year from that quarter shop. And I used one of Corey's fabric lines. And I didn't have enough yardage of the prints to make the border. And I really like that she tells you exactly which Moda Bella solids go with her fabrics. So I bought a Moda Bella solid for the binding. And it worked out beautifully. So I really like that she does that. And she puts all that in her blog. So if you're a fan of hers and you haven't been to her blog, it's a good place to find out find out information. But she also does like some free sew alongs like this quilt pattern and others throughout the year. So if you're ever looking for like a good project, she always has good projects. And you don't have to use her fabrics. Jana said, I love Yoder fabrics. I do too. But I think part of it is I love her colors, and the other part of it is like she's an Ohio gal. I'm an Ohio gal. I really like to support Ohio people, but I love her stuff. Deb Strain is another one. She's another designer from Ohio, and I like her stuff as well. Love Course Fabric, said Valerie. Yes. Hi, Julia. Good to see you. Hey there. Finally made it. Had to pick up my machine from a spa visit. Well, that was way more important than my life because you have to have your machine. Definitely. I'm glad you got your machine back. I know This machine here needs to go in for a spa visit. But that means I have to wrestle back Black Beauty from my daughter. She's been using that one. Because I can't be without a machine for a week or two. Are you getting that storm? Mm, not that I know of. I mean, we've had kind of like a rainy, sort of icky day, but maybe. I haven't looked at the weather, to be honest with you. Hmm, good question. I should ask my husband. Um, where is Deb Strain from? She is from Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is down southwest, like in between Columbus and Dayton, I believe. Uh, you can also meet Tiggs plus Corey has many free patterns and puts one a month on sale. She's very generous. Yeah. She actually gave me permission to do this on my channel. I asked her and she's like, yeah, that's fine. She was very sweet about it. Because I never want to step on anybody's toes, especially designer, right? They're giving you the free patterns. So, but yeah, nice lady. And Tiggs is one of her kitty cats. She has two cats. Valerie said it's been a beautiful couple of days here in Texas. Nice. That's awesome. I cannot wait for spring weather. I'm really looking forward to some sunshine. I got a little bit of that when we went to Florida, when I went to Florida with the kids, and got a little bit of it when I went to North Carolina. So I'm ready for some here. How close are you to Copley, Ohio? Very close, Bev. Copley is about maybe an hour, not far. Do you know somebody in Copley, Bev? Your cousin lives in Sullivan, which is about 40 minutes south of me, 35, 40 minutes south of me. So that's not far. Hi, Joyce. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Draw lines on the back of a whole bunch of blocks. So you should have 24, we had 12 strip sets, so you should have 24 blocks. So it's going to take a minute to draw all the lines, but we'll get there. This is going to be really neat, I think. Excited to see how these are going to come out. If you have a large block lock ruler, large enough for an 8-inch square, I would definitely use it for this project. That'll help you trim these up really, really nice and quick. I don't have one that large, so I'm going to have to use just a regular ruler, and that works too. But if you do have one, that'll help. Ken is calling, gotta run, said Jenna. No worries. Have a great day. I don't know why when she said Ken, it like automatically flashed to Barbie, which is just silly because I know lots of Kens that have nothing to do with Barbie. So my uncle is a Ken, and you know, I've met a lot of Kens, but that just struck me as funny. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Joy said, doing great. Sorry I was late, but I had some running around to do now, and I need to unload my car. No worries. You guys don't ever need to apologize for being like late or something. It's life happens. And I'm just thrilled to have you here, even if you could only stay for a minute. And you don't ever have to apologize for being late. That's, we all have stuff going on. I try to pop into as many of my friends as I can, like Laura Lynn and Russ and Shannon and Stephen and Walter and people like that. And I don't always catch their whole things. I want to because I want to support them, but you can't always do it. It's a lot of creators on there and everybody has their own life going on. So cousin Linda's niece moved to Copley and she's looking for a long armor. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not that far. Well, Bev, you have all kind of ties to Ohio. Linda's niece and your cousin Bridget, and none of them are very far from me. So you could come visit them and I could visit you. So I just finished the Red Panda Smart East, but that Going Coastal one that I did from them, I used all grunge in that one. So the show last year that told me that I use an excessive amounts of ombre in my quilt, I really, really am want to, I'm kind of like excited to see what they say about this one. I really have a feeling she's going to say I use too much grunge, and I think it's kind of a game now. I'm going to have fun with it. So I can't wait to get the feedback from that quilt, which I won't get for a while because the show goes into from I think it's the last week in March until the end of April, but I really am looking forward to the feedback from that quilt. That was a really fun quilt to make, that Going Coastal. It took a while, but it was fun to make. Not all Art East quilts take as long. Like this Red Panda one behind me, it didn't take me long at all. But that Going Coastal one took a while because each different, I don't know if you want to call it character or because there was like a lobster and a mermaid and all that stuff. Each of the different characters, it wasn't cutting like the same size pieces over and over again, like the red pandas, other than like the body of this one. Kind of all the pieces were the same, so it was easier to cut. So the other one took me a lot longer. So I'm really excited to see like the feedback from the judge and see what they say. Okay, so let me look at the pattern again and see what we're doing. All right, now I've got all these ones drawn with the, yeah, the lines drawn corner to corner. Can almost talk. And then these are the ones that are pressed out. These are in. So from what I understand, I believe we're just layering these right on top. And then we're going to make like we're going to sew it on either side of the line and we're going to get two half square triangles that are going to look something like this. Of course, they'll look a little bit nicer because they'll be together better, but I think that's what we're doing. So not too bad. So and make sure we're doing that for every single one before I do something wrong. Like you don't have to flip one or something like that because I would be the one to do that. Nope, it looks like we're doing the same thing. Okay. Not bad at all. This is actually going pretty quickly and pretty well, so. Love the fabric. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, I do. A few of my family members are spread out there. Yay. All right, so I'm just going to sort of pair all these up. I'm trying to decide if I should be fussy about what I'm putting together because like what I have right now is like the florals are together. So maybe I should not put the florals together. This is where I get in my head too much, try to mix things up. And I shouldn't, but I do. So let's see. Let's put these together and see what happens. Yeah, okay. I think I just need to not think about it too much. And this is why I can't do scrappy, because I get too much in my head and it takes me forever to like put things together. So Vicky said, hi Vicky, good to see you. She said, hi Stephanie, I love watching you when I can. Love the quilt behind you. Thank you. It was so much fun to make. That was a cute quilt. I love red pandas. I don't know if you guys watch shorts on YouTube, and the shorts on YouTube, once you start watching certain things, they start, I don't know if you've noticed, but in your feed, they start putting those things in your feed more often. And red pandas popped in my feed, probably because I was making the quilt. But like real red pandas. And so I've been kind of addicted to watching red panda videos. Because they're just so happy. They're so cute and happy, and they just roll around on the ground and play, and it's just fun. They're just a happy little animal. Okay, so when we sew these together, we're gonna have to make sure that these nest up really good in the centers where the seams are pressed opposite. So what is it called and by whom? The pattern behind me? That is the Red Pandas pattern from Art East Quilting. Yep. And I can actually put that in the chat. I believe I have a command for that, if anybody's interested. This is the third pattern I've done from Art East, and I really like their patterns. They do take a little bit of time to cut. That's the only drawback. And that's my least favorite part of making a quilt. I don't like cutting because it takes me forever. And I'm a little bit OCD, so I like measure 3 times and then cut instead of measure twice and then cut. So it's my own fault that it takes forever. But if you cut them precisely, they come out really nice. So there's that. There's that trade-off. Okay. I have a feeling my quilt is going to be a bit more monochromatic than I intended, but we'll see. That's okay. Mine's going to be very blue. Surprise, surprise. I actually really wanted to do it one of the, like, if I had some fabric. One of Corey's examples was like these sherbety colors. They're so pretty. Nice and bright, but I just didn't have anything like that. You're very OCD, then you're going to love these. You're going to love Art East quilts then. Yeah. It actually fed into my OCD really well because you have to be very, very organized to do one of the quilts. There's a lot of pieces. You have to take your time and cut them, and then you have to label everything. I mean, they go from like A to Z, and then they start over and go AA to like little ZZ, and like, yeah, or little A to little Z, and then they go big A twice, like AA to like, and then the little number or the little letters again, like AA, like double letters. So there's a lot of pieces. But if you are OCD and you are very organized, then you will do well with Art East quilts. I love them. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm going to make sure that these are nested up really, really well before I start to sew, which I can feel them. Now I see why she said to press opposite ways, because literally the one that's pressed in is just kind of laying inside the one that's pressed out, which is really, really nice. Yay. So there's not much to do. If you feel better about pinning, go ahead and pin to hold it in place, but really it's not moving. It's literally laying inside. It almost like made a channel for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew on either side of the line then. And I'm just gonna sew one and cut it apart because I want to see what we get. Because I'm not patient enough to wait until do all of these to see what comes out or how it comes out. Let's see. The quilt is a nice relief from working on the Art East Queen of Hearts. That is looking so good. I'm not making that one, Colleen, but I would love to see yours when you're done. But I've seen all the pictures of all the blocks because John's from Art East has been posting them on Instagram, so I've been watching them. Oh, so cute. I did not know about that one until I already got the Queen of Hearts. Well, that's they don't call it Queen of Hearts, but it's Alice in Wonderland from Tom Tay Studios. And I was like, I can't do two Alice in Wonderland quilts. So, and that one is they just put out the last block, and I haven't even started it yet because Shannon and Russ and I were going to do it together, but their schedules changed, so they couldn't. And I've had other things going on, but I think after some of these other so-longs are done, like maybe after my Millersburg retreat, I might start that Alice one because I really, really want to do that. It's really cute. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that apart right on that line that we drew. All right, I can't see what, wait to see what these are look like. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, I like this. Very cool. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. And they matched up so perfectly. Okay, so definitely make sure you press your seams, some in and some out, because it's perfect. They lined up amazingly. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside and I'm gonna keep going. What a nice, easy quilt. This would be a good little breather if you're working on something hard. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure these sit in here. So make sure you take your time and make sure they're like sitting together. You can feel it. Like I said, if you want to pin, definitely pin. But that one didn't move when I sewed it. So love the way these come out. Thank you, Cindy. Thanks, guys. Hi, Shelly. How you doing? Oh, I finally lost bobbin chicken, guys. All right, time to change the bobbin. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. Actually got a lot more sewing done before I ran out than I thought I would. Oop, hang on to stuff. There we go. Hi, Jeannie. Good to see you. thank you, Cindy. I love the fabric too. I'm really happy I picked this one. Leave it in NICU. Those love those babies so much. How are they doing? So Shelly, that's in the chat, her daughter had twin babies and they're in the NICU. They were born early, but it sounds like they're doing well. So happy for you. I saw somebody else that I know from sewing stuff. She had a new grandson this week, or maybe it was last week. The days all run together for me. And she posted a picture on Facebook, and he was just the most perfect looking baby. Had like the roundest head. None of my kids came out looking that pretty. Hi, Charlotte. Good to see you. Landa said, gotta run. Have a great rest of your weekend. You too. Put these aside and cut them apart later. These would probably go faster if I chain piece them. Probably should do that. I'm trying to make sure I get them all nested up really well. So, Bev, did your mail come? Did you get your clue? Oh, Emily had them at 27 weeks, the twins. They will be 3 weeks tomorrow, both weighing in at 3 pounds. Oh, teeny little guys. Oh. Working on my second When Stars Collide right now. Ooh. What colors are you using this time, Charlotte? I really love the first one you did. And thank you for making me a quilt because it's beautiful. No, I'm just kidding. But I love it. It looks so good. Both of my brothers and sister were born full heads of curly hair. I, on the other hand, came out with stick straight hair and looked like somebody stuck my finger in a stocking. That's funny. Oh, you got your clue. Yay. Awesome. Good to hear. So what I'm talking about, if you came in later, is the carnival clue for cotton cuts, their puzzle mystery quilt. We're going to be sewing that tomorrow night right here on my channel at 6 o'clock. Shannon and the group of ladies who sews with us. It sounds like some people still hadn't gotten their clue, so I'm glad to hear that they're arriving. We just got if you're doing the Tree of Life, we just got the next Tree of Life clue as well. We'll be sewing that in a couple weeks. Not this Friday, but the next Friday. And if you guys have that and you want to sew ahead, that's not a problem, no problem. But if you want to still join us just to show your clue done, that's fine too. We're happy to have you. Um, Charlotte said, thank you. I love Steven's patterns. This one is blues and purples, mostly Banyan batiks. Ooh, that's going to be gorgeous. And Matthew said, congratulations, Shelly. I hope they are strong enough to go home soon. Yes, babies. Logan and Levi. Oh, you didn't tell me their names yet. That's so cute. Oh, sweet babies. My youngest child, Henry, his birthday is this month. And I was just telling my husband the other day, he's going to be 5. That I'm really glad that we're not in the babies keeping us up all night thing anymore, although I do love babies, so I miss having them. But now I get to look forward to down the road, way down the road, being the grandparent and being able to see the babies and give my kids a little bit of time alone with their spouse and then send them home. So I'm looking forward to that. Although it's still going to be a ways away, but bye Beverly, see you later. Have to run. Happy sewing. Thanks Denise, thanks for being here. And I will see you soon, Denise. It's coming up. I think this is one of those quilts where it doesn't feel like you're going to get a lot done, or it doesn't seem like you're getting a lot done, but then all of a sudden there's going to be a lot done. Cute name, said Terry. I think they're cute. Being a grandmother is the best, said Terry. I think so. I think it's going to be great. Mary said, wow, I can't believe he's going to be 5. I know. My baby. Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Denise. I forgot it was your birthday today. I did know that and just lost my mind. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day and I hope you enjoyed your carrot cake. Terry said, now I'm a great grandma times two. Awesome. My second baby's birthday was yesterday, but he turned 45, not 5. Yeah. I'm actually old enough to have a child. My husband and I were talking about this the other day too. He's got friends that like their children are having children. And I was like, they're the same age as us. We just started late, so we're older parents. Give Henry a hug for me. I will. I will for sure. My sister and I did Clue 2 of True of Life together this morning via Zoom. Oh, that's fun. But stop on in, Charlotte. I'd love to see your Clue, even though it's done. Joyce said, I'm a great grandma times 29. Wow. Wow. Summer step, but still, that's a lot. You have a big family. That's amazing. Really cool. Oh, love how these are turning out. This is awesome. I'm glad I started at 3 today because I wouldn't have a lot done, but I still am not going to finish all this tonight. So, I might pop on tomorrow morning and work on this a little bit. Okay, chain piecing is definitely the way to go if you're working on this. I did some and then I stopped doing it, and then now I'm going back to it. It went faster. Joyce said, we'll have to finish emptying my car. Have a great weekend, quilty friends. You too. Take care. The next step with trimming could use your guidance or tips. Just saying. Okay, no worries. Let me get a few more done and then I'll cut some up. You must be sewing way faster than me. I would say for the trimming up, if you've got a square ruler that's big enough to give you an 8-inch, or if you've got a block, that would be great. I'm gonna get my square ruler instead of using the rectangular ruler. Let me see. I have to go. My cutting is done though. I'm fighting a cold, so I'm off to bed after a bite to eat. Oh, I hope you feel better, Colleen. Thanks for coming though. I definitely go get some rest and feel better. I thought the live was at 2, so I sewed strips while waiting. No worries. It's actually supposed to be at 3, but our internet like went crazy. And my husband reset it. So he's like, you better wait a little bit to go live just in case it doesn't come back right or something. So every once in a while it gets silly. All right. So let me cut some of these apart. Let me put the ones that I still need to sew to the side. Grab all this. I'll cut some of these ones that I already did apart. And I will have to press them before we trim them. So I'll cut a few, press them, and then we'll trim a few. And then I'll go back to sewing them. Just so if you're already ahead and need a little help with this part, I can help you. I noticed that you always back stitch at the beginning of the seam, but not the end. Please explain. I don't always back stitch at the beginning, but I have been lately because my machine needs servicing. And my machine doesn't eat corners, which I'm really happy about. But lately I've noticed the first couple stitches I take, they don't always take. And so that end will be loose. So that's why I've been back stitching, but I don't normally back stitch. It's just a thing I've been doing. That's why I said my machine needs to go in for servicing, because it's doing that, but it's probably because I needs really good and clean in there. I keep my machine really clean, but you still need to have it professionally done. So, yep, that's why. It's not something I do on the regular. I've just been doing it lately because my machine, like I said, needs a good spa day. I probably am going to need some new feed dogs. I don't know if you guys know this, but your feed dogs in your machine can wear out, and it's been a while, so that might be why it's doing that. It's not catching as well. So, let me see. Press seams open. That's what I was thinking that she would say. Okay. Right. All right. So I'm going to press a couple of these, and it says to press the seams open, which is not all my favoriteest thing to do, but we'll do it. But that makes sense actually for these. You're going to want them open so it doesn't get too bulky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it one way first, and then I'm going to flip it over and open that seam up. It's a little bit easier if you've pressed it one way to then go back, and it would help if my iron was hot. Then to go back and open it up. Okay, Mary, here we go. We'll get this one done. Grab, where's my square ruler? Over there. Let me grab my square ruler. It'll be a little bit easier with the square ruler. And it looks like, look at the instructions again. It looks like they want, when you're trimming these up, this square is supposed to be 3 inches. This strip should be 1.5 inches, and this part should be 3.5 inches. And that altogether will make your 8 inches. So let's see what we got here. We'll see if I did this right or not. Thank you, watching closely. Don't watch too closely on the first one, I might screw it up. All right, so I'm gonna find the 8-inch mark first. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so 3 inches. So I'm gonna line where I have 3 inches. So like from the 5 to the 8 mark, right on that square. Right, I'm putting it right on the seam. So on the center diagonal here, and then right on those seams. And then this should be 1.5 inches, which it is. So I did something right. Let's see. And then continue with it on the diagonal. And that looks good. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh, just bent my fingernail back. That felt really good. I'm gonna fix this again because I messed up the ruler when I did that. All right, I'll hold it down. I'm gonna trim off that way, and I just move my ruler again. Ah. Okay, don't move. Trim that way. All right, so this just had like little slivers come off of it. You guys can see that, even such a small little piece. And then I'm gonna turn this around, and then all you should have to do at this point is line it up on the 8-inch mark. But I would again check it here. So this is the 3-inch mark. You can see the 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They want this part to be a 3-inch square, this part to be 1.5 inches, which it is, and then this makes this is 3.5 inches. So 1, 2, 3.5. Hopefully that makes sense. That side. That side. All right. There we go. There's a trim block. So did that help? Did that help, Mary? Do you want me to do another one? Let me know in the comments if you want me to do another one. I can do another one. If not, I will keep sewing these and cutting them. I shared my clue in the Facebook group. Oh, good, Charlotte. I can't wait to see it. Perfectly. Okay, good. All right. So that's what one of your blocks should look like. I'm going to set this aside for now and go back to sewing these together and cutting them apart and all that jazz. And then press these all. Oh, I don't like pressing, guys, but it's a necessary evil. So, but it looks really good. So I'm glad I took the time to press it out really nicely. I like it. All right, I'm gonna set that one aside. Actually, while I have the everything over here, I'll just go ahead and cut these ones apart. Start making my stack of to be pressed. So after you do that part that I just showed you, then all is left to do is to sew them together. So into your rows. It's gonna be quick. I think the trimming and the pressing is gonna take the longest. All right, I've got those cut apart. So I'm gonna go back to sewing these other ones together. So I'm gonna bring my pile back over here and keep on sewing. Have you had to have the feed dogs replaced on this machine before? No, I haven't, and I think they need it now because I've had the machine for quite a while, and I do know they wear out. On my very first original machine, I had to have them replaced once after I had it for several years too. So pretty sure that's what this needs now. It's just not grabbing like it used to. It used to like really clamp down on the first, and I didn't have to backstitch when I started off stitching, and it doesn't do that anymore. So she served me really well, this machine, and been great, and I still love it. It just probably needs that. So if you guys are working on this, how's it coming? Where are you at? You gotten all your strips done? Are you starting to cut blocks? Or are you already past me and have like everything? You're like, no, I'm done. Thank you so much for the afternoon. Got to be done for now. Have many blocks to trim. Mary, post a picture of what your fabric, your blocks so far, so I can see what they look like or what the fabric is that you're using. Can't wait to see. Have a great afternoon. No one sews as fast as you, said Terry. I think there probably are people that sew as fast as I do. Probably faster, actually. And I'm going a little slower than I usually do on these because I don't want to pin because I don't want to draw blood. And I want to make sure they're nesting up really good. So I'm taking my time. We'll do it's a smorgasbord of batiks. Oh, it's gonna be pretty. So next week on my channel, we're going to be making these eggs if you're interested for Easter. They're just made out of scraps. I just picked up scraps from my rock candy that bin that was left over. And I used scraps and then just a piece of fabric on the back. And they have some interfacing in them. I don't even remember what I used. It might be SF 101, not sure. They're still kind of flexible, but have a little bit of body to them. And I used the interfacing that fused it on one side. So if you want to join me for that, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll have the template PDF available to make the egg shape if you would like to have it under that video available in a couple of days. But this is what we do next Saturday. They're really fun. And I thought they'd be really cute. Like, let me grab my drink. Like to set on your table, like for Easter, like that with a drink on it. I thought they'd be really cute and fun. And then if you wanted to, if you have family over, you can send them home with one, or you can keep them for yourself. But they were really easy to do. And you do need like this is a straight stitch machine I have here. So I'll have to get out my machine with the zigzag because I zigzag the edge because I didn't want to turn them. But they were quick and easy and really fun to do. So if you want to do those with me next week, I just used some scraps that I had left over and cut them into like random like strips. So yeah. So I'll put that PDF up in a couple days under the video for next week, the video link for next week. So you guys can find that if you want to sew with me. I think those will be good. And I'll be back at my normal time at 5, not 3, next week. But it's a good way to use up some of your scraps if you've got some, because it doesn't require like yardage or anything. So thanks, guys. And I'll also list like what approximately like what materials you need, but thanks, Jean. Could you have made them like a pillow and then turned them? You probably could. Yeah. I didn't want to though. I was being lazy. No, I thought it would be cute just to zigzag them, and I just used like like I did blues on the back, 2 different blues, and I just used a blue variegated thread just to give it some more color on the edge. So, but you probably could turn them. I just thought I wanted to make something cute for spring for the table. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you. Hello there, the traveling quilter. How are you today? Oh, getting there, getting through this pile. So for all of you just coming in now, I'm working on the Calliope quilt from Coriander Quilts or Yoder. Um, it's a free pattern. So if you'd like to have it, you can head on over to Coriander Quilts and grab it, and I will put that link in the chat. It's really, I'm finding it's a really nice pattern. Uh, my friend Steven calls it a palette cleanser. When you have harder quilts and then you do an easier one, I would say this is what you can consider a palette cleanser. Uh, it's a lot of sewing strips, but it's going together really quick. So per norm, tired, got called into work extra late last night, and silly me went, oh, that stinks. Sorry you had to get going to work. That's what I do, a quick, easy quilt or some little project. Awesome. Now, just snipping them all apart, I sewed them all down one side. I'm going to go back and sew them all down the other side. But this time around will be a little bit quicker because I don't have to worry as much about the seams because they're already sewn together to make sure they're nested. So yay, I'm getting there. This is the last pile that I need to sew. And then I can cut them all apart and start pressing them. All right, here we go. Got home at 8 this morning and had a 4-hour nap. Ooh, I think I would have probably slept longer, but that is rough. So will you have tonight off then? Bev said, I must answer my screaming tummy. It's saying, feed me. See you later. You go answer that, Bev. You need to eat for sure. Related to zombie. I told them, do not call me, but if they do, I'll probably go. Oh, hopefully they won't call you. Hi, Steven. How are you doing? Marla, if you're still here, do you like your M7? How is it going with that? Uh, what? Steven, what time is it there? You love your M7? Steven's the same time as me, if that's what you're asking him. It's 5:39. Just on my own tonight. Yep. Yep. I'm sewing up the Calliope quilt from Yoder. It's a free pattern. And I did one block already to help somebody cut. This is what they're going to look like. So they're really nice. And you kind of put four together. And this center section is like you put them all together around. So it's going to be neat. Looking forward to it. Just trying to sew through this big stack now. Oh, you're just picking at them. Okay. It's wine time. Oh, I'll take some. I'll take some white, please, Stephen. Two more. Yay. Uh, Shelly said, I love your pandas on the wall. So adorable. Thank you. I can't wait to get it quilted and see how and bind it and everything, see how it comes out. Trying to decide what kind of pattern to put on this thing because it's not, you know, not like a traditional quilt. So hoping to get this guy, the red pandas, and the rock candy quilt quilted this week. So, oh, gotcha. Okay, Stephen. No worries. Inside joke. Okay, here we go. All right, now to cut all these apart. Hey, Mona, good to see you. Had search and rescue training to go to for most of the day. Ooh, that's fun though. So after you cut them apart, you get two that look like this. And eventually we're going to put them all together after they're trimmed and everything. But they're going to go back together like that to make our blocks. So it's going to be really pretty. But first, I got to get them all cut apart and pressed and trimmed. So are you going to give the panda quilt to one of your kids? No. I'm keeping that for myself. I love red pandas. I don't know. If one of them really wanted it, I would probably give it to them, but I don't really think they want it. Now my son has already claimed the Legit Kits turtle that I have not finished yet. Um, he said when that's done, he wants it because he's a big, huge, my oldest son, he's a big sea turtle fan. So my middle name is Anne. After 60 plus years, half of my aunts still put Anne. Uh, Stephanie, on Corey's site, she shows a big arch quilt pattern on. No, not on this one. I was meaning on the red pandas. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the red pandas. This one, I already have an idea. This fabric has some paisleys in it. So I have a pattern that has some things that look like paisleys. So I'm probably going to do that on this. But the red pandas is the one that I'm like, not sure what kind of pattern to put on that. So I have to look through my library of patterns and see what I want to do. Yeah, the animal quilts, I find how hard how to quilt them. Yeah. Well, the going coastal one I just did a pattern that sort of looked like waves, and it turned out really good. So that one wasn't hard for me to pick, but the puffin star with the puffins, that was easy too, but this one's a little not quite sure because it's a completely different style. We'll see. So as you can see, my friend Stephen Bland of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter is here in the chat, and he has a great channel. And you guys are just in time if you don't know who he is, which I'm sure you do because he's been on here with me before. But if you don't, head on over to his channel and subscribe because him and Walter, he and Walter, proper English, he and Walter do a live every Sunday at 4 o'clock, and it's the most hilarious thing. Like, I love watching it because I laugh for an hour and a half. So, and they always start with topics, and Steven does his best to like cover those topics, but sometimes things go off on tangents and it gets really, really funny. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. He'll be live at 4 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Eastern. Where do the pandas live? Maybe do something that looks like their habitat. Red pandas are from China. And yeah, that might be fun. It's a good way to look at it. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a little bit easier to pick patterns for more traditional quilts than it is for sort of different or modern quilts. And I know a lot of the modern quilts from going to Quilt Guild, they're doing matchstick quilting on them, but I find that to be boring myself. For myself. I've seen it on quilts that I really like. For myself, I find that to be boring. Like I don't want to watch my long arm go back and forth 1,000 times. Plus he uses a lot of thread. A lot of thread. So yeah, I want to do a pattern. But yeah, bamboo would be, I don't know if they eat, I don't know what they eat. I don't know if they eat bamboo, like their panda counterparts. I think they eat fruit and stuff, but we'll see. Maybe I need to do some research. But I do know they're from China, just like pandas are. So all right, just a couple more to cut, and then to press all of these. Yikes. I would like to get a few of them pressed so I can sew some of it together just to see what one block's going to look like sewn together. So I'll probably pick a couple of them with different patterns and press those and get those trimmed and sew one piece together. And then after that, I'll let you guys go, or I'll go. And our friend Shannon, she is not having her morning thing tomorrow because she's got some fun birthday stuff going on. So I may pop on tomorrow for a little bit and sew some of this some more. So to make some more progress. All right, so I have this one done. And then this one I just need to trim. So let's just pick two more here. One, two, I guess it'll work. All right. So this is the big old pile. I have to trim everything. So let's see. So I'll set these aside for now. And I'm going to press these three because I've already got this one done. So I'll press these three. You have to press the middle, this seam open, and then we'll trim them. So grab that. I'm going to get my magic juice and put it on the seam. And it's easier to press open if you press to one side first and then go back and open that other seam back up than it is to try to press both seams open at the, or press it open at all at once. I don't know why. Somebody taught me that a few years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, it really works. So much easier. So all right. And I hear they eat quilts. They probably do. Or at least chew it anyway. They're really cute. They look like a cross between a panda and a raccoon to me. Red pandas. They're just bigger than a raccoon. Let's see. Feeds mainly on bamboo shoots and leaves, but also fruits and blossoms. Oh, okay, there we go. Only the tasty ones, said Tangle Zest to Stephen. Well, I'll stay away from pandas. They might eat me. You have to worry about some other things eating you when you go to Australia. Them are some scary animals there. Cute though, but scary. Although I imagine most of the scary things are in the outback, but I will be expecting a fluffy kangaroo from you. So you better keep room for one of those in your suitcase. Oh no. You were supposed to say no. No work for you. All right. Let me get the fourth one, which I dropped on the floor. Oh, there we go. All right. Get this last one, and then I'll trim these three down, and we'll put this one block together so we can see what this is going to look like. and then I'll carry on to tomorrow. Hey, Jacqueline. If she would have texted, I'd say no, but she called, and hard to say no to a person when they're, oh, yeah. According to Alexa, red pandas are idly related to skunks, raccoons, and weasels. That makes sense. They look a lot like raccoons. Labor and delivery nurse. Oh, wow. Must have a lot of babies coming, huh? They keep calling you in. Ouch. Hot. Okay. Now I can trim these up and put a few together. So you're gonna need your 8-inch square or bigger if you've got one. And this bottom section down here needs to be 3 inches. This needs to be 1.5, and this needs to be 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 3 inches on this one and hope that the rest of this is right. Stand up easier. I'm going to put that right on my seam line, my diagonal seam line, and then get the 3 inches down here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this should be 1.5 inches, which it is there and there. So looking pretty good. And just little bits coming off there. And then just turn it around and put it on your 8-inch mark. Make sure it's still measuring correctly. 3 inches, 1.5. Yep. Looks good. So trim this down to 8 inches. All right. There's one. Got two. Trim 2 more. We can put these together. And then we'll go for tonight. Take your time trimming. That way they come out correct. And the last one for now. We're only getting the littlest bit off the larger side. We're going to take more off the smaller side. Whoops. Okay. Okay, there we go. Close that. Now, I'm not sure in the pattern how they show. They might have you put them together in rows. Yeah, it looks like rows. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this together like a 4-patch. And then later on, I can just put 3 of the 4 patches together to make a row. So they're going to go together just like this. Let's see. There we go. Just seeing how I want to fit them together. This is where I get in my head too much and I just need to put them down. Just let it go. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna sew them together. And they're supposed to look scrappy, so it doesn't matter if like some places 2 of the colors are touching, but let's put these together. I want to see how well these blocks go together. Yes, me too. Okay, there's one part of it. Let's do this top one. And there's another one. So I'm going to press these in opposite directions so they'll nest right there. Right. And now we'll sew these 2 together. So when you put these blocks together, let me grab this here. When you put these blocks together, watch really close when you get to these intersections, but mine went together really nicely. They're all matched up, so I'm really happy with that, but that's probably the one place you want to really check and make sure that everything's nesting well. All right, let's see if I did good matching my seams. Pretty well. This one's a little bit off on this side. I might need to fix that, but not bad. So I like it though. I like the way the block looks. I'm just gonna fix that one seam because I don't like it. Not this one, this one. But it came out really well. I'm actually really impressed. Really pretty. I like it. I like the fabric I picked. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this or it was gonna be too much blue, but I really like it. So happy with that. All right. Let me fix this one really quick. This is the easy fix. I thought it slipped a little bit when I sewed it. I probably should have pinned it there. So that's my fault for not wanting to pin. I don't like to bleed though. And I like to bleed on my fabric, so I try not to pin if I can help it. But I guess sometimes you should. But it's not too bad. So I don't have to take the whole block apart, which is the nice part. I just took that little section and I'm going to pin it now to make it go where I want it. Let's pray I don't bleed on my fabric. All right. Thank you guys. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. All right. There it is. So now I just need to press this and make all the rest. So definitely not gonna be done tonight because I'm gonna take a break here and go spend some time with the family, have dinner, go to the store and get my magic erasers that I'm missing so I can clean my other iron and come back tomorrow and work on some of these some more. So if you have some time in the morning, I don't know what time I'm gonna go live. I'll just pop on in the morning. I'll keep working on this, but I really love the way it came together. I mean, everything nested really nicely, well-written pattern. So I'm really happy with this. You know, you never know with patterns how they're going to come out, but it came out really good. And doing it on camera is even more nerve-wracking. So, oh, you're leaving March 24th. Yeah, Stephen is going to the land down under, and I'm really excited for him because he gets to see some of our friends down there, Philippa, and some fluffy, fluffy kangaroos. So, talking about Stephen, don't forget to go over his channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for his live. Stephen and Walter go live every Sunday, and he does all kinds of other stuff during the week. He has a blog and a quilting update, and then it's So Chatty on Fridays, which him and Walter are doing. He and Walter are doing an embroidery series right now, which is really fascinating. And this Friday, he's going to have one about freestanding lace, which I'm super excited to watch. I've seen his creations of the freestanding lace, but I have no idea how they're made. So I'm really excited to see that. And so check out his channel. And then tomorrow evening after Stephen's live, I'll be back here on my channel with Shannon, and we're going to be throwing up Carnival, the puzzle mystery quilt from Cotton Kits. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be on Shannon's channel doing the New York Beauty this week. So, and then on Wednesday, the sew day with Stephen. We have a sew day every Wednesday. It's private. It's not here on YouTube. We'd love to have you come over. Let me put the link actually for that really quickly in here. Oh, hey, Laura Lynn, you're back. How was dinner? So we'd love to have you over there. It's open to anyone. If you're crafty, quilty, whatever you want to do, come on over, work on a project. We start at 9 a.m. Eastern time and we go to 4 p.m. It's always a lot of fun. There's great people to talk to. it encourages you to get a lot of stuff done. I always get a lot of sewing done on the sew day, so I love them. So looking forward to that. And Stephen and I like hanging out, of course. So hope you'll join us for that. And if I don't have this finished by then, I'll probably be working on this on Wednesday. So hope to see you then. Otherwise, that's all I got. And I will see you guys. Delish. Munchkins made homemade pizza. Yum. That sounds great. You guys in your homemade pizza, I know you just made some. I know Walter makes some for Stephen and it always looks so good. I need to come up to Canada and have some homemade pizza with Laura Lynn and with Stephen and Walter. All right, guys, take care. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow over here and hopefully at Stephen's channel. And then also go check out Laura Lynn and her channel. She's got some great stuff. She's inspired me to do a lot of projects and to do cross stitch, which surprise, surprise, hand stitching. But have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.